Lincoln's proclamation to free the slaves had made the South more determined than ever to preserve its way of life. In June 1863, Lee led his troops across Maryland and into Pennsylvania, the farthest penetration that the Confederacy had made into Union territory. On July 1st, 1863, Lee's Union Army confronted Lee and his troops. The two vast armies, numbering more than 170,000 men, met on what became an enormous battlefield outside the small country town of Gettysburg. After 3 days and more than 50,000 dead, Lee retreated back into Virginia, never again to set foot on northern soil.
The victory at Gettysburg had been won at a terrible price. 2 months later, the state of Pennsylvania decided to purchase 17 acres for a cemetery for those who had sacrificed their lives at Gettysburg. On November 19, 1863, Lincoln delivered what has become known as the Gettysburg Address, in which he charged to sail distance with the mission of carrying out the cause for which so many had given their lives. It is this address that we will now recite for you.
It is